Hey guys, I was going to do a video real quick just to let you know. I always say I'm going to do a video real quick and then they end up being really long. So that's kind of the first joke I do in all my videos. If you got the hint of that, I always say I'm going to do a video real quick and then it's an 8-10 minute video. Anyways, I thought I'd share that with you. I have a lot of questions about temperature. Rabbits in the cold, rabbits in the heat. And so I was going to do a little video about that. If I could have a perfect degree weather for rabbits year-round, it'd be about 45 degrees year-round. And you say, babies and everything? Yes, babies and everything. Rabbits are meant for cold weather. That's why they have their fur. They are easily insulated. Babies, if a mom does a nest correctly, her nest should look like this. And that nest right there, it could be negative degrees and those babies are going to be fine. Here's a couple more examples of nest. This mama here did really good. I messed up on this mom. Make sure you have baby saver wire. Let me see if I can get it. See these small ones here? I had her in this one here, this cage here where this red New Zealand is. It does not, and I didn't pay attention to it, and I lost 2 of her babies, them just coming out. And that's the other thing with this box right here. These worked really good. It's just a kitty litter box, but the only problem is that's not high enough to catch the babies when they're nursing. When they're nursing, they have a very good grip on them, very good grip on the teat. And so when she jumps out to knock them all off, if you have a box like this, it knocks them all off because they hit the box and it makes them fall back in the thing. But this one, I guess some of them got out because I lost 2 of them. They fell out here, and they probably would have froze to death anyway if I didn't catch them. But since I didn't have baby saver wire, they fell on the ground and for sure froze to death. Okay, this one here has a little different nest design. It was just the babies that had the fur. She did no extra. See them in there? Now that little red one in there you see is a miracle baby. Like I said, I moved. I know I'm getting on a bunny trail, but let me, no pun intended, but let me tell you this little story and I'll continue on with my heat and cold. But this doe right here, she's a first-time mom, and she was over here, and she had 7, and I thought she was doing great. She did a good nest and everything. Well, I checked on them 2 days later, and most of them were dead. And that little red one right there that you can see playing back there was the only one that I could save. And I actually put and I'll be keeping it whether it's a boy or girl because I needed some genetics to have that. But I actually put it in this box over here with this mama, which disappointed me. She was huge, and she only had 3 babies. She has 3 babies up in there. But she raised that one for 2 days till this black otter had babies, and I think she had 5. And I gave her 2 of this ones because this one had 9. She always has big litters. And then she lost 2, and so I think she has 5 left. And this one has 7, something like that. But they should take care of their babies, okay? Now heat is what gets you, okay? Once the temperature is above 90 degrees, they start getting miserable. Once it's over 100 degrees, they are downright in danger of dying. Some problems that I see that people make is they put them in heat, in the sunlight. Even on an 80-degree day, if your rabbit's on a cage on the ground without shade, it will die. You say, no, not on 80. Yes, the sun will cook them. So I would say that for rabbits, summer is a lot worse than winter. 90-degree weather, once you get 90, from there up, you got to be real careful. Now, I've never had misting systems. Some of my people that watch and some people I know have, and it does help. I've just never done that way. And I've never lost any in the summer on a big scale. This recent fight that I've been doing lately with some sort of bacteria infection has knocked me further than anything ever has. But that would, and all right, I'm mumbling, rambling. All right, let me start over. Okay, on rabbits. Let's start with wintertime. Anything above 50 degrees, you do not need anything. 30 to 50 degrees, it's up to you. They should be fine. if it's a good mama, she will be fine. She'll make a nest and have babies. Not a problem. Negative to 20, over 20, that heat lamp right there will do the trick on 2 boxes. See, I have these set up like this. These will all be, I have some that are due in about a week, and so these will all be replaced. These are all my young ones, well, my buck. But besides that, I have this red doe that's due, and then I'm going to replace these young rabbits with other does that are due. But I can put one light in between these 2 pins, and it'll keep both of those babies alive in, I mean, negative 20, negative 30, as long as there's not rain or blowing wind. Those are your 2 enemies. In the barn, I don't have to worry about that. But if you have them out, you need to have a tarp on them. Because a wet baby's a dead baby, whether it's from the doe not being good and urinating in the box, or rain getting in, either dripping in or blowing in. Okay, that'll kill your babies quicker than anything else. Wind, they just can't do as good with wind. If wind's getting in there, they just don't do as good. I've lost some to wind. I've heard of people losing some to wind. That's just more of a chance that you take. But if you have them in some sort of a shed or a tarp over them, and you have a light on top of them shining down into 2 boxes, they will be good to go. Good to go. Now, saying that, if you have a light on them, you can't turn it off and on at your leisure. Oh, well, it's gotten up to 20 degrees. I'm going to turn it off. No, because the mom's going to make the nest according to the temperature, if that makes sense. And so if you leave that light on here, like right now, if I put that light on this box right here, she would eat and move most of that hair and hay off of there because they'd get too hot. Okay, even on a 15-degree day like it is, that's going to put off a lot of heat, so they get too hot. Well, if I decide that, or electricity goes out, be careful, that light goes out, well, there's no way she can cover them up in time, and you have a chance of losing some. If that ever happens, and you electricity loses, or let's say it's been in the 30s and you're about to have a cold, cold night, take some hay, lay it straight on top of them like that. Not going to hurt anything, but it gives them another layer of insulation. The mom will slowly eat that off, and when she nurses them that night, she'll take it off or move it out of the way and put it back. Rabbits are smart. They know when their babies are cold. That right there, I would not be surprised if that mama jumped in at an angle and pushed this up where it was standing up, nursed her babies, and then pushed it back down. She doesn't need to in this barn because it's not that cold yet. But that is something that you can do. Don't use straw so much as hay because they can eat the hay. And straw has more dust on it. So try to get some good quality hay too. Since you're not going to be using that much of it, get some Bermuda. I use Bermuda because I'm here. But get some good quality hay. So we've done cold, and that's more favorable. Summertime, up to about 80 degrees is easier for the person. Reason being, if you have a baby on the, let me see if I can get y'all something, because I'm talking. If you have, let you look at something cute while I'm talking. This is the cutest litter of babies. All right, if you have have them on the, right now in this temperature, if it's not a good mom and she has them on the wire, they will die. Unless I just happen to get them. They can't make it, it's too cold. Okay, whereas in the summer months, you have more leeway for a bad mama. She has them on the wire, you're going to catch them. They're going to look like little pink rats all over the wire, and you can put them in the box, and more than likely she'll take them. Okay, so you have more of a buffer there. But when it starts getting 80, you know summer's coming, and so you got to be more prepared. Summertime, you can use misters. The main thing is fans. You have to circulate air. Rabbits do not have a way to sweat, and so they can explode. Literally, if you watch some of my original videos, I had Sarah that was heavy pregnant, and she literally, from the inside out, exploded. They have no way to get rid of their heat. And so they'll lay down, you'll know they're getting hot, and they lay down and they'll put their nose up in the air like they're snubbing you, and they'll start breathing real hard, and you'll see moisture coming out their nose. That means they are hot. They are trying to survive. You either need to get a fan on them immediately, you need to get a frozen water bottle, and what I mean by frozen water bottle is you can get a 2-liter bottle of Coke or any other beverage, drink them, and then fill them up with ice and put them in a freezer. Most people do not have a freezer space for that, so I would recommend getting a secondary freezer, just a cheap $50 freezer, to put into somewhere. You can use it for your groceries too, but to put water bottles in the summertime. You could swap out 2 a day, but that's a lot of work. And once again, y'all know me, I'm not into a bunch of work. That defeats the purpose of doing this. And so what I would recommend is if somebody's going to be home, it's great to do it right at lunchtime when the temperature just gets unbearable. Because if you put them in the morning at, let's say, 8, they're thawed by 2 or 3 in the afternoon. And so those last hours of the afternoon, they do not get any comfort from it. But water bottles are great. Fans are a must because you have to circulate the air over their fur to give them some relief. Babies are real bad a couple days old. You would think that you would be okay because they don't have no hair on them. They get heat, worked over with heat way fast. I'm not sure if it's because their bodies are so small they always want to be together, and that creates so much heat that it gets them, or that their bodies haven't been made yet for the heat, and so it just overwhelms them. I'm not sure. I'm not sure why, but you have to be very careful that if you see babies start twitching, 1 to 2 day old babies start twitching. I'm going to take this hay out so I can show you all these babies. Babies start twitching, then that means they are too hot. Rabbits only feed twice a day. They will feed in the morning and at night. They're just like wild rabbits. Wild rabbits do not want to take predators back to their babies. So they're only going to feed once or twice. Okay? And so you taking the box out during the day is not going to be a problem. And this is even for a doe that you don't know that much. Now, what you do in the box can be a problem if you do not know the doe. Okay? I know these does. I don't have any of these does that I do not know. And so I can play with these at a day old. I'm looking at them and seeing what I have. If I do not have that doe, or I do not feel comfortable with the action the action that the doe is doing, then I do not touch them. A good rule of thumb, if you're just getting into rabbits, don't mess with them till they're about 10 days old. At 10 days, their eyes open. If you do mess with them before that, get fur in your hand like this and move them with the fur. Okay, like that. Now these should be almost 10 days old. Here, they don't have their eyes open, so they're not quite, but they're getting close. Beautiful litter here, by the way. But use the fur to move them over. The only reason you really need to do that is to make sure you have no dead ones. This one, she had 8, and 1 died the first week of they were born. And I never found it. It rotted before I found it, and they just stink. They make the baby stink. When they get about 2 weeks old, what I did is I just yanked them all out, put them in the pen, and in the summertime I just would have left them out of the box. But since it's so cold, I just cleaned out the box, put new hay in there, and put them back in it so at night they can be warm. We've had 10-degree weather, and I haven't had any lights on any of these. The moms all did good nest, and if the moms make a good nest, the babies are good to probably 5 degrees, 10 degrees without any help whatsoever, especially when they get a few days old and get some hair on them. Okay? So winter is the best for them, but you have to be more cautious for babies. Now, if you just have pet rabbits, I'm talking to people that are breeding babies. If you just have pet rabbits, I know I have a lot of fans that are just have pet rabbits. They just like watching my videos for the baby rabbits, which I have some cute ones of right now. Then you're fine. They can be outside as long as you keep them out of the rain and out of the weather. They are fine. Rabbits would much rather have the cold than the heat. Just give them some good hay. Right now I'm on every other day hay, giving them hay, and they will do fine. There's no problem there. Okay? Well, I hope I helped some people that were wondering how the weather's impacted their animals. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I will talk to y'all later. Say bye, Zoe. Say bye. She's one of my most protective mamas, and she has some of the most stinkers in her litter. My favorite is this. Y'all can't see my favorite. Let me show you my favorite. It was the first one out of the box. I don't know what it is, but it... come here. It's that one. Is that not a monster? Oh, man. All right, I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.